Hi, and welcome to a not so sunny, in fact definitely not so sunny Scotland. Hello, it's been a while. I think the last blog I posted was around about March. I've been out with the camera a few times since then, just not done any vlogs. So today I took an hour and a bit up the coast into Scotland to have a walk around St Abbs. So St Abbs is just over the border, if you don't know, in the southeast corner of Scotland. And today's more about a walk, I think. I think any photographs we get to take will have to be black and white because of the misty grey conditions. But I've got the camera with me anyway. But to be honest, it's just nicer to get out and have a lovely walk. See you in a minute. You know? Not a bad view, is it? So, got to start there and walk all the way around there, around the cliff tops, up around the lighthouse, down, back, along those cliffs there, and down, up over there, and down there into St Abbs Harbour. I'll finish and have something to eat, hopefully. And at the minute, I think I have to worry about social distancing because I haven't seen a single person. Yeah, it's only 10 AM in the morning. I'm sure it gets busy later on. Oh God, look at this, look at this. I get so excited, I just have an irresistible urge to start grabbing my camera and shooting because there's just so much to see. But you just have to pause, have a think about it, and think of some compositions. So what am I thinking? Let's think what goes in my head. Nobody knows what's going on in my head. Right. I guess starters, the obvious composition is to line up on that harbour wall, slipway, whatever it is there, and kind of point out to that rock, probably with a long exposure. There's a pan along, don't know if you can see on here, but there's kind of some rocks there, so maybe a zoom lens with a nice misty headland in the background, so put maybe the 70-200 on, focus on that, and then get that nice kind of headland, and then there's potentially some lovely detail work in the rock face there. In fact, I'm spoiled for choice. Okay, this is stop number one. I think I've got about 4 or 5 places I plan to take, so I'm going to take my time, have a wander around, and think what we're doing. Okay, first composition lined up. So we'll have the obvious kind of focal interest. We'll have a leading line coming in here, and we'll put a 10-stop filter on to smooth out the water. I think. So that's about the angle. So I would say about 2 minutes exposure, ISO 100 f13 possibly. We'll have a go, see what that looks like. The sky's totally blown out because of all the mist. I could put a grad filter on to try and pull that back, but I might just kind of try without just to see what it's like, because I think black and white is going to be pretty white anyway. Okay, a slight change of composition. It's kind of quite annoying that the rock isn't quite in the centre of the slipway, so whichever way I kind of position it, it doesn't kind of feel that right. So I'll show you what I'm doing. I'll just flip the camera around. Right, so I've just put the camera offset of the slipway to try and line that up in the centre, and then we'll take landscape with the leading lines coming in from the slipway with that kind of rock in the background. I've reduced the exposure to 1.5 minutes with the 10-stop filter, and I've had to put a 3-stop graduated filter on just because the sky was blowing out too much, and we'll see what that one looks like. I mean, look at this place. That's lovely on a beautiful sunny day, but it certainly has an atmosphere as well, just even without any sun. I think the mist kind of works quite well for what I'm doing with the long exposure. This is obviously some kind of volcanic. You can see all the kind of layers in the rock. So many millions of years ago this would have been a volcano. Now it's just called Scotland. So this composition, I'm in about 50mm, focusing on that rock there, just to kind of get the, well, what little you can see of the cliffs behind with the mist. Nice moody shot, like I said. I think all of these will have to be black and white because there's not much detail. The weather forecast is supposed to brighten up this afternoon, so I might come back and revisit if it does, but the tide's on its way out, so I'll not be able to get the slipway with the water later on. Okay, next stop's the lighthouse at St Abbs. Don't think there's much more you can do with the composer. You're limited by how close you are to the kind of cliff edge, so safety wise don't get too close. So this will be probably a 1.5 minute exposure, maybe less actually. Probably f16, ISO 50, because it's getting near midday now, so the sun's coming up, so it's getting brighter. Focusing on the lighthouse. Sometimes there's just times to take photos, and there's times to just sit back and chillax, have some lunch, and just enjoy the view. Okay, so I'm thinking about a composition here, not sure, that if I zoom in on there, with long exposure, we should get some nice kind of wave movement, white water at the base of that. Not sure. I suppose one way to find out. Just moving around now, trying to get a better composition, but what I don't want to do is go anywhere near that cliff edge, because that would be stupid. Even though it's reasonably dry, it's still, you can see there, it's kind of crumbling away. So I think this might not be a bad spot. Just show you where I am. Right, don't do this when the wind's blowing that way. The wind's blowing this way, and I've got the tripod leaning back, and I'm fair away from the edge. I think I might be spoiled for choice. Trouble is, every picture is going to be very similar. But God, it's lovely. And I'm also unfit for climbing all these hills. Who said it wasn't hot and sunny? And finally, I think I'll take a shot here, even though the sun's probably behind and backlight, not a great composition in terms of the sun, but it's a great composition in terms of the subject matter in the frame. Just have to overexpose a little bit to get those shadows. And that completes the loop. And the car is somewhere over there. So that's taken me about 9:30, about 5-6 hours. A leisurely walk. It's only about 4 miles, but it's obviously when you stop for half an hour in every cove to take a photo, you can see why. What a spectacular place. It'd be great in the winter as well, I bet, with the storms and driving rain and dark gloomy clouds. Sunrises as well, because that's the kind of east straight out there. So you get lovely sunrises. Definitely one place to come back. Hope you've enjoyed. Thank you. Bye.